So this is gonna be a short video, but I got a quick question for y'all. Would most people consider me Kenyan, American, or both? Right? And the reason I bring this up is because, matter of fact, let's start here. Personally, if you ask me, if you were to run into me in the street and be like, "Hey, what are you?" I'll tell you I'm Kenyan, right? Now, you have some Kenyans who are gonna watch this and they're gonna be like, "Man, shut up, you're American." To me, it's hilarious. You have trolls, right? But they're not wrong, because I am. I'm both, right? Now, let's jump into this topic and actually look at it. In my opinion, if you are looking at an immigrant, they could fall into like three categories, right? They can be born here, they could be born in their country, but came here at a young age, or born in their country, but spent enough time there that they've built enough of a model of their cultures, people, and all that, right? They've built relationships. They've spent enough time there, right? They've put the time in. Let's just put them. These are the old people, the millennials. Y'all old. Anyways, let me stop. So you can fall into one of those three categories. Personally, I think that I fall into the middle. The well, no, not think. I do. I came here at 4 years old, right? So most of my early memories, quite a few of them, are back in Kenya. But at the same time, I can't sit here and act like America hasn't influenced me at all, right? So sometimes I question myself and I'm like, do these millennials look at these other two groups and be like, man, shut up, y'all are both American, right? The ones who were born here and the ones who came here young? Or do other Kenyans from Kenya look at all of us and be like, all of y'all shut up, y'all are not Kenyan, y'all are American, right? Either way, it takes me back to a question. What's it called? A time. This was like 7 years ago. I was arguing with a friend. His name is Jemo. If you guys know Jemo, Jemo's a hilarious guy. Jemo called me American, and I sat there and tried to argue with him for like an hour, and I was trying to explain to him why I'm Kenyan. He wasn't wrong. I am American, right? I'm both. Now, he brought up what's it called? A word that came back to my mind yesterday after we made the video. I made the video. I did make that video. Yo, I'm staying consistent on this thing. Y'all better stay to my channel, man. Y'all better keep watching. What's it called? After I made the video on not speaking the language, it brought me back to the word assimilation, right? Jamal basically told me, he was like, dude, you've spent enough time here that you've assimilated to enough of the American culture that most people would identify you as an American. I was like, definitely wrong, but I sat there and still argued with him. But to me, it's also funny because when I look at this of these three groups today, right? You have a whole generation of Kenyans or other immigrants who were born here and still identify with their home country and their wherever they're from. And you have a whole bunch of people who be like, yeah, they're crazy. But I don't think they're crazy because I think all of this depends on how you were raised here, right? If you grew up here, in my opinion, and you weren't plugged into your community, that's where it's like you don't get to claim the other side, where you're from. But personally, for me, I grew up within the Kenyan community. So most of my upbringing was through the Kenyan church and the community through the Kenyan church. So most of the things that I did, places that I went, people that I knew were through the church. But at the same time, 90% of your time as a kid is spent in school. So most of my other friends were Americans and I interact with them just like every other American does, right? So it's like you grow up literally living a double life. We're like a whole bunch of Hannah Montanas out here, right? The double life. On one side, I go to school and I'm this American kid. I act like an American. On the other side, what's it called? I can't act like an American around around my Kenyan community, right? So to me, it's just funny. You get the best of both worlds, but at the same time, you have a bunch of people who will try to be like, "Shut your American self up. You ain't Kenyan. So to me, it's just funny. Let me know in the comments. Where would you fall into? Were you born here and still claim back home? And if you do, is it because of you growing up within the community? Or do you just claim to be American because you're just like, man, I grew up here, that's all I know, right? You guys let me know in the comments. I think on the next topic, I'm gonna talk about falling out from the community because at a certain point, I don't be seeing Kenyans. I miss y'all. But till the next video, love y'all. Take care.